I did my freshman year of high school when I thought I was way hotter than I was. Every single Sunday, without fail, for the entirety of freshman year, I would set aside a full half hour to apply not one, not two, but 3 hefty layers of fake tan. I would proceed to not just leave it on for like 4 to 5 hours, but fully go to sleep in it. Mind you, if I'm going to bed at like 10 p.m., and then I would get up at like 7:30 to shower it off before school, that's about 9 hours marinating in fake tan in my sleep, and the bottle recommends 5 to 6. The worst part by far about this was my hands. I was really convinced I had it all figured out and that I had the tactic for fake tanning your hands completely nailed down. I would use this like fluffy makeup brush to get in all the crevices of like my knuckles and stuff. I thought it looked totally normal. Completely normal, like undetectable. And this was at a time where I was making get ready with me's almost daily and posting them. So I have those videos to look back at, and when I go back and look, I cannot believe the tan that is caked into my knuckle wrinkles and fingernails, and just how utterly orange I look. I know I'm not the only one that's fallen victim to this though, but I was so utterly tan blind for like a full year and a half. Feel free to share your fake tan fail photos below.
These are things I've learned in high school so far that everyone is going to learn at some point. At the beginning of every school year, you're going to have a really random talking stage come up. And it's going to start off good, and you're going to have some good times, but it's not going to go anywhere. Next thing, dates are awkward. Especially if you're not friends beforehand, the date is going to be very awkward. Like, there's going to be awkward pauses, you're not going to know what to say, and it's okay. Boys are idiots, okay? They do not know what they want. Like, very few of them know what they want, actually. And if they do know what they want, they don't know what they're doing. Like, a lot of my friends' boyfriends are so sweet, and I really like them, but they just, like, don't really know what to do. Like, I've had to help so many of my friends' boyfriends plan out how they're gonna ask my friends to homecoming, how they're gonna ask them out on Valentine's Day, like, all that type of stuff. This is a really big one, okay? This is how it is at my school, but most people do not get asked to homecoming, okay? For the most part, the only people who get asked to homecoming are people already in relationships or, like, as friends. This is maybe the biggest thing I have to say in this video, because I went into high school with this mindset and it, like, didn't benefit me at all. You do not, okay? You do not need a boyfriend to be happy, like, at all, alright? My freshman year, that was literally all I was thinking about, and it was so dumb. Like, why did I care? There's a right time for you to, like, start dating someone, and you're gonna know when it is, because it's not gonna happen, like, unnaturally. Like, it will happen, like, when it should happen, you know? Setting spray break. Hold on. If a guy asks you to hang out at his house for the very first time you guys are hanging out, that should be an automatic no. That's fine in, like, middle school. Like, that can get by, but not in high school, babe. Okay, guys, let me know if you want a part 2. Here's the fit check. Bye, guys.
I think we can all say we were horrible humans as freshmen in high school, and if you weren't, you're lying. No, I had, like, no compassion for teenage boys, especially ones that liked me, so for, like, all of 8th grade, this guy and I had been in, like, a relationship, but we weren't allowed to date yet, and so then I got into freshman year, and I don't know why things changed. I thought I was better than him because he was in 8th grade still and I was a freshman. Now let me tell you guys, there was absolutely nothing wrong with this kid. Like, he was, like, super nice, got along great with my family. I hung out with him, like, every weekend for a year. He was, like, super tall too, like 6 foot. I'm trying this, like, white liner thing, so I don't know if it's gonna work, but stick with me. So now homecoming rolls around, and I was planning to take him, but for some reason one of our schools wouldn't sign off on the slip because he wasn't in high school. And so I was like, well, shoot, I need a homecoming date. So I had recently reconnected with an old family friend, and I was like, what if I bring him? So I asked, like, basically my boyfriend if I could bring another guy to the dance, and he's not going to be like, no, you can't do that, because he didn't want to be, like, controlling. So he was like, sure. Why did I go through with it? So I took my family friend as a date to homecoming, and of course the kid that I was dating is gonna, like, react in some way. So he was, like, acting a little bit jealous. And then, like, one day after school we were on the phone, and he was like, I feel like something's wrong. Are you sure you're okay? Because I was being really, like, blunt with him or whatever. I don't know. I was, like, really dramatic. And I was like, everything's fine. And then I ended the phone call, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to break up with him right now. So then I called him back, and I was like, you know what? Actually, not everything is fine, and I want to end things on the phone. And I was like, okay, bye. Oh, but it gets worse. Now, after I took another guy to homecoming and then a week later broke up with him, I invited him over to my house for the weekend and we watched a movie and cuddled on the couch. And I acted like we hadn't even broken up. Why was I like that? Why?
Story time about how me and my friend got locked in the school toilets. Okay, so it was the end of break and me and my friend were just talking. There was lots of girls in the same toilet and they were making so much noise. It was so loud to the point where I couldn't even hear what my friend was saying to me. Out of nowhere, it goes dead silent and me and my friend just stare at each other. We're standing there processing what just happened and we hear a lock. I check my phone that's on 1% and I see that break has just ended. There's no way that we just got locked in. But the door is locked and I thought that I was pushing a pool door because that happens to me all the time. My friend then decides to try it and we realize that we're actually locked in. Let me run you down with the structure of the bathroom. So for starters, there was no window in the bathroom, which means there was no way out and we couldn't call for help that way either. Then in front of the door that has a window in it so you can see everything, there's a corridor which goes that way and then there's another door. Right, so I thought that calling my mum would be the smartest option, but my flipping phone decided to die on me. My friend thought it would be smart to give me a paper clip so I could try and pick lock the door. I was at that door for 10 minutes and it still did nothing. As we quite literally ran out of all the ideas we had, we hear people outside, which means it was lesson changeover. Gives us the idea to start screaming and shouting for help, which was stupid because nobody could hear us anyways. At this point we lost hope completely because we thought we were going to be stuck there forever and it was already period 4 so everybody was in lesson. Our school has this rule where certain toilets don't get opened at lunch and when it got to lunch we thought that our toilets would be opened but no. So we were stuck in the toilets the whole of lunch too. Our only hope was my phone. Okay, so you know when your phone dies but then it turns on again? That's exactly what happened to me. I called my mum in the last minute and asked her if she could call the office, but she didn't believe me and thought that I was lying that we were stuck. Then my phone dies again, so now I'm just relying on my mum to get us out of here. Thankfully, she was smart enough to call the office. A lady comes from the office with a key. After unlocking us, she says, "How did you guys manage to get in here?" Honestly, I don't know. I honestly think that we got locked in on purpose. There's people in our school that actually have keys. All the keyholes in our school are the same. So one key basically unlocks everything. I don't think it would have been a teacher, but in the end, I'll never know.
For a time, I was really badly bullied at high school, so much so that I ended up leaving my first school and moving school. Let me tell you one of the things that happened, and this was at my second school. This is once I'd already moved. Like, I don't know what people's problem is. I think I was in year 11 when this happened, so well beyond the age where things like this should be happening. Like, come on, we're literally almost adults. Anyway, I pull up to school, I park my car out the front of the school, like literally right outside the school gate, right? I'm in class, I'm doing whatever, like, I didn't even know this was happening. I'm sitting in class and I get a text message from one of my friends being like, "Hey, XYZ person put pizza on your car," and they sent me a photo. I've probably got the photo somewhere in my car. I can't be bothered to find it, but like it was a photo, like they'd put pizza on my door handle and I think on the front of my car or something. They'd like smeared it down the side of my car. Keeping in mind the person who did this, I never did anything to them. Like I moved schools, they just didn't like me. Like nothing happened. It wasn't like we were friends and there was a beef. Like it was just, I don't know. I think it was 2 people actually. Anyway, so I get this video or photo, whatever it was, of my car and it's like, someone's put pizza on the side of my car. Sorry, who does that? Who does that? What? How old are you? What kind of a person does that and thinks it's funny? Especially to someone who's like, I'm not even your friend. Like, it's not even like, not that that's a nice thing to do your friend anyway, but even like, it's not like, huh, it's like a funny joke. Like, I didn't even know who did it. They didn't tell me. The only reason I found out was because someone else saw them. Anyway, I get a text message from my friend being like, "Hey, like this happened and this person cleaned it off my car for me. Thank you." Like, that was really kind and I really appreciated that because this person also didn't have to do that. But I was just like, what? I don't even like remember what happened after that, to be honest. I don't know if the school was told it. I don't remember. Like, what? I still like at a loss for words. Like, what? Like, if you have a problem with me, tell me. Like, tell me why. Don't put pizza. What? Anyway, if you or someone you know is experiencing bullying at school, please reach out to someone, whether that be a friend, a parent, someone you trust, someone at the school. There are people around you to help, and there are things that they can do that can help. Don't be scared to go to someone in the fear that, oh, but they're gonna make it worse. They won't. There are people who want to help you and they will help you. Trust me, I've done it, okay? The amount of times I went to the school was crazy. And if you or someone you know is struggling, you can always reach out to places like Kids Helpline. There's plenty of resources out there. Utilize them. They're for you. If you are experiencing anything like this, bullying, whatever it may be, I'm so sorry. And I'm here to tell you it does get better, I promise. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you my high school day in hell. So my first class of the day was PE.
hey. And I saw my friend in the locker room, and I wasn't really close with her at the time. And she told me how she had broke her phone and she doesn't know how she's gonna get home. All she had was the address written on a sticky note. But, you know, she told me it was super close and that, like, her mom would pick her up from there because it was her cousin's house. So I text my mom and I tell her, hey, my friend literally has no ride. She doesn't even have a phone. We need to give her a ride. So I find her on my way out, and then we get in the car. She reads off this address to my mom. My mom's typing it in, and she tells us both it's her cousin's house. Keep in mind, this is my first time ever even hanging out with her outside of school. So my mom types in the address, and it's literally like 25 minutes away. And I had dance after school, so we low-key had to rush. Like, if I knew how far it was, then I low-key would have get somebody else to do it. We still take her there because we told her we'd give her a ride. And as far as me and my mom know, this is her cousin's house. And I keep stressing this point because once we get there, he opens the garage and she asked me to like get out of the car and like walk her closer to the house to make sure she gets in. I'm like, girl, this is your cousin. Like, you should like probably feel comfortable at their house. And she shuts the door so my mom can't hear it, and she goes, don't tell your mom, but like, this is not my cousin. Like, this is this guy I'm like trying to hang out with and sleep over. I was like, all right, girl, like that's whatever, go ahead. So after that, I just go. I didn't tell my mom yet just because like I didn't think anything would happen. And I see her and my other friend like posting on like Instagram and stuff. And then I just kind of like go to bed like hella early that night. The next morning, I wake up to people texting, posting on their stories that like this girl is like missing. I was like, what the frick? And I was just like so freaking confused. I'm like texting people. I'm like trying to text her, but like obviously like she didn't have a phone. So I tell my mom, and I was just like, oh, like remember that house we dropped her off at? She said it wasn't like actually her cousin's house, but that like her mom was okay with it. But then obviously we realized her mom wasn't okay with it because she just reported her daughter missing. So by the time that I kind of like pieced all this together and I'm like, girl, I know where she is, I'm like telling people, I'm texting people, and they're all like, oh, like don't worry, like she's already been found by her mom, like she's good. I felt like it was literally like my fault for not telling my mom and stuff like that, but like then the next time she asked for a ride, I told her the only way she could get a ride is if she apologizes to my mom for basically letting her get kidnapped and almost making us like the freaking culprits. Anyways, I have a lot more freaking stories from hell, high school day in hell, or my middle school day in hell, where I got 9 detentions and 4 referrals. But yeah, bye guys, see you tomorrow.
Story time on how the whole SOT team started searching for me when I skipped a lesson. In case any Americans are watching this video, SOT is someone who's higher than a teacher but lower than the head teacher. And if any SOTs are watching, I don't really get the point of your job. Okay, so this was maybe in like year 9, and I never really liked school. And one day I wasn't feeling like doing my lesson, so I decided to skip it. This lesson was maths, so if you hate maths like me, we're on the same page. I don't think I should be saying this story, but it happened a year ago, so what are they gonna do? It came down to the moment where I was supposed to be in maths, but I decided not to go. I was feeling overwhelmed, so I most definitely did have a reason to do what I did. Here's how the story gets interesting, and I'll tell you guys how I did it. Most people in our school skip, which is why there's SOT guarding every single toilet, especially the PE ones at the end of lunch. What they basically do is make sure that nobody ends up staying there. Mind you, these are the toilets that I was trying to skip in. At the time, we also had a system where year 9s weren't allowed in certain toilets, and I didn't want to be going there in case I got myself in more trouble. Sometimes these SOTs are there and sometimes they're not. When I decided to go, guess what? They were there. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know how I managed to avoid SLT because she was literally screaming at people to leave. Luckily, I did get in before she came, and the first cubicle was out of order, so I went there. It wasn't actually out of order, but she believed it was. There was this girl in the cubicle next to me, and I think that she also wanted to skip, but she got caught. At this point, I was the only one left there. Basically, what I did there is sat with my legs crossed on the toilet, and my handbag was up on this sanitary bin so that it looked like there wasn't anyone in the cubicle. 20 minutes in, I hear somebody talking outside the toilet, and I'm thinking like, oh shit. I'll never know who it was, but my guess, some SLT talking to the head teacher. So I start messaging my friend because I'm scared and I don't know what's going on. And she basically ends up telling me that the whole SLT team is looking for me. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm so cooked. How am I even gonna get myself out of this situation? And if things couldn't get better, an SLT actually walks into the toilet and I go dead silent. No joke, I'm literally shaking like that. But I need to stay quiet and I can't get caught. As I'm sitting like this in the toilet, I hear the SLT walking outside the door and all I hear is their footsteps. But then they suddenly stop and I'm like, I thought I got busted. Out of nowhere they leave though, so I'm just celebrating that I didn't get caught. The whole period passes, so I just go home. I thought that because they didn't find me, I'd gotten away with it, but no, my parents were called. As soon as I went in the car, my mum was like, why did I get a phone call from school? She clearly wasn't happy, but there wasn't much that she could do. Anyways, I was like, okay, cool, my mum knows about it. I didn't get caught, I'm fine. When I came home, I was just wondering how the whole SLT team didn't find me. Not that I wanted to be found anyways. The next day I go to school not thinking much of it, but an SLT pulls me out of form.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the time that this hoe tried to steal my mans while we were shopping at Victoria's Secret. This little situation, I want to say, happened when I was 16, so 3 years ago. The story starts off with me and my boyfriend's name is Dylan, by the way, starts off with me and him going to the mall. Oh shit. Got there, walked by Victoria's Secret. Actually, this takes place in the pink side of Victoria's Secret. But yeah, I saw that they were having a sale on their underwear. Like, I think it was like 5 for $25 back then. It's like 5 for $40 now or some shit. But yeah, we went in there because I needed some new underwear, so yeah. So I was just picking out my 5 for $25 or whatever. You know how dudes are, they're always helping you, you know, pick out the colors and shit. Like, you know, they like, oh, I'm picking them out. Everything was good. Everything was normal. The worker was helping me out. She had her little cute little iPad. Like, we were chilling. Picking them out. Like, this one's ugly. This one's cute. This one says something really cringy. I'm telling you, they had the days of the week underwear. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday type shit. Thursday, Friday type shit. Saturday, Sunday type underwear, okay? Fuck do I look like to you, 12? Should I had my ass in the Victoria's Secret side? Like, maybe I wanted a sexy thong or something. Sorry, I've been stalling, guys, but this is the part where it's about to get juicy. Okay, so the hoe that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we're gonna give her a fake name. So we're gonna name this bitch fucking Lindsay. I'm sorry if your name's Lindsay, by the way. For context, Lindsay and my boyfriend used to be friends. She was basically obsessed with them. It was the whole thing. Like, she asked him to homecoming. He said no because he didn't like her. Basically obsessed with my mans. Still, and we had been dating at this point for like well over 6 months. Like, she knew we were dating. Real quick so you can picture it, me and my boyfriend had our backs turned to the entrance. So the entrance was like right behind us. We were still looking at the underwear. Yeah. Okay, this is what happens. Bitch ass Lindsay literally comes up. I didn't even see her do this at this point. And I see her just on my mans, physically on my man. This hoe dead ass runs up and hug jumps. Like, jumps and like hugs him, like one of those hugs. This girl like can't be serious. Like, doesn't everyone know that that's like a relationship hug for like a boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, you don't do that, especially when someone's taken. Now you're probably like, oh, Emily, what did you do? Because what would anyone do in this situation when some girl is like manhandling your boyfriend in Victoria's Secret while you're picking out underwear, like mid underwear shop? Girl, take a hint. Not to mention she had a friend with her, just like standing there like, what the fuck? And also the pink worker was like, what the fuck? And my boyfriend was just standing there while she was hugging her like this, like really arms like this, like not accepting the hug. Why would he? Well, I ended up taking out my hoops, like hold my hoops, and I started fighting this bitch. I'm kidding. I kept it classy. I didn't do shit. So, like, hugging him, like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, I missed you. I was just shocked. Like, I did not know what to do. I was frozen. Jump scare. It's like if you went to the mall, saw one of your guy friends and his girlfriend literally at Victoria's Secret doing their thing, and you just run up and jump hug him. Like, who does that? Like, girl, you knew better. You really did. Hold on, my lashes look so good right now. Yeah, nothing really happened. Like, after they hugged, he was like, hi, and then they just left. Literally so awkward. Moral of the story, don't be like Lindsay. Just don't. It's always the blonde bitches. But if for some reason this goes mega viral and she sees this, girl, no hard feelings, but like, what were you thinking? I'm going to the fair with my mans after this. The same mans. We're still together after over 4.5 years, so you can't have them, Lindsay. You still can't have them. Ooh. Finally done getting ready, but yeah, that was the story, guys. So, just kidding. I literally forgot my lips. Okay, bye guys.
I am on to see my husband. I'm happy to see.
Embarrassing I did in high school to make you feel better about yourself and anything that you've done, because I guarantee mine is worse. I once cried because I didn't have my workbook, so I walked into school, burst into tears in front of the entirety of my year group as they were going into assembly because I was also late, and everyone just saw me crying and everyone spoke about it the entire day. I once wore clip-in bangs to high school because I was experimenting with the bangs hairstyle. I've done a story time on this and everyone laughed. I had to walk in a line, I had to walk in front of the rows of everyone wearing this clip-in fringe, and everyone was staring at me like, and I wore it the entire day, so much so that a teacher turned around and was like, everyone is free to express themselves however they want. This is the way Kellen's chosen to do it today. And everyone just took the piss out of me all fucking day, all year. I never lived that down. I once lied to a few of the popular girls in my year about certain music artists I said I was really into. I used to go home, research this artist's songs, learn all the lyrics, and come into form humming them to myself. Popular girls would be like, are you singing? And I used to go, yeah, I'm a really big fan of this artist. And then they found out and they were like, that's not one of their songs, and then they knew I was lying and faking the entire thing. We had a walking thing in my school where you used to have to walk around the field to get exercise in every single morning. This only lasted for about, I want to say like a 6-week period, and every single time, because I didn't want to do it, I would bring a book with me and walk around reading a book, so much so that everyone, like all the popular guys and that, used to be like, Kelly, you're really fucking weird, can you stop doing that? Second week of year 7, which I think is like, I don't know what grade that is in America, I really wanted to try the messy bun look because it was kind of the era of 2015, 2016 when the messy buns were a thing. So I walked into school with this massive fucking bun on my head and everyone laughed, and I walked into assembly and everyone laughed, same as my clip-in bangs, except this one I actually took out halfway through the day. One morning in school I'd had a complete meltdown over something I don't think I wanted to go in, full stop, so much so that my mum walked me all the way to my school reception. I then walked all the way back out because I knew that my dad was still in the car. However, as I was walking down the road that we'd parked in to get to my dad, a teacher who had not got to school yet was walking down, recognized me, was like, Kellen, whatever's the matter, like come back in, walked me all the way back into reception, and those people saw, and basically I was screaming and crying the entire time. I was once asked to sing a song for my school choir. I had a complete solo and this teacher worked on it for months for me. This one Ariana Grande song that I was going to sing in front of everyone, and on the week beforehand when everything was like rehearsed and ready to go, I pulled the plug because I was too scared, and I was like, I can't do this, I don't want to do it, and she was really annoyed at me. I never wanted to be afraid of getting up and singing in front of everyone, and one music lesson I got up in front of the whole class and decided to sing Let It Go. In my school we actually had microphones and microphone stands, and I sang Let It Go in front of the whole class, and the guys and the boys in my year filmed it and were laughing at me. One of my drama GCSE non-graded performances, I messed up the entire show. We did a very long play for the GCSE curriculum and I messed up the entire thing. I got all of the scenes in the wrong order and the play actually finished an hour and a half early because of me. All of my friends were really annoyed at me, but my drama teacher who liked me was like, Helen, it's fine, just don't do it on the night. But everyone was so angry. Sorry guys, they all hated me anyway. When I was in high school, I was really obsessed with this one alternative singer, so much so that I used to wear her merch only on non-uniform days, and I used to walk into school wearing head to toe the singer's merch, and everyone just used to be like, who is this? They weren't a very popular singer at the time, so everyone was like, what on earth is this? Any excuse I could get, I would make presentations and PowerPoints of school projects on things I liked. So it didn't matter if it was a certain Japanese fashion style, a singer, film, a TV show, anything, I would make a PowerPoint on it and educate my entire class about like my current session for that month. I've spoken about this one, but I used to go through phases with my bags. If I was obsessed with a specific fictional character, I used to have a bag, a tote bag that I would print on the text. This is so embarrassing. I used to like print on the text like, I heart this character, like this character's name, and I put it on there. Transition from primary school to high school, I didn't understand why we stopped playing like make-believe. So for the first like 6 weeks of year 7, I was like, guys, like why don't we just like play, I don't know, like I'll pretend to be this character and you pretend to be, and everyone was like, what the fuck, we don't do that anymore. We're in high school. Leading on from that, I used to pretend to be fictional characters to help me get through the school day. I used to literally walk around pretending to be fictional characters. And if people were like, Helen, what's up with you today? I used to be like, today I'm Fluttershy from My Little Pony, so I have to act like this. Or I'd be like, today I'm just in my Jade West phase, guys. Like, I feel like really edgy in Jade West today. I used to get so obsessed with fictional characters, TV shows, and movies, I would go around and try and get other people to watch them. I used to go up to people and be like, you've got to check out this show, you've got to check out this character. And this could be seen as cute and like you want to make friends, but the way I was doing it was so annoying to people probably, and they were like, Helen, like it's not my type of thing. But they probably didn't want to be mean, they just never ended up watching it. And finally, I used to upload singing videos onto Instagram in my final 2 years of high school, and YouTube, full-length singing videos. I used to go, hello, my name is Kellen and I'm going to be singing. And the only views they would get, they get like 200 to 300 views, and they'd all be people in my school making fun of me. Oh, bonus one. In my last year of high school, I discovered cosplay. I made just cosplay photos and people printed them out. They made fun of them because they weren't the best cosplays. They were all DIY, but I think any cosplay is amazing. And like, if you've put effort into it, that's incredible. Some of the best cosplays are all DIY. And I was just starting out. I was like 14, 15 getting into cosplay and everyone made fun of it. And yeah. Oh, I've just thought of another one. When I was in like a media studies class, someone was like, Helen, what's that written on your hand? And it was like my celebrity crush. And the teacher was like, who is this? And Googled it and got a picture of my celebrity crush up on the board. And everyone made fun of me because they weren't conventionally the celebrity crush that you should have at that time. Because it wasn't someone popular like Harry Styles. Yeah.
I was really badly bullied in high school, so much so that I ended up moving schools. And this is a story time because this is one of like the most craziest, stupidest things that ever happened to me during that time. Just quickly to preface, bullying is never okay. And if you or someone you know is struggling at school, please tell someone. Your school has resources, has support systems for you, and it is helpful. I've posted a lot of content before on the experience that I had in high school, and I've had a lot of girls like reach out to me saying that they relate to it, and I'm so sorry you relate to it because honestly it was awful. You're not alone, and it does get better. But let's get into the story. For like some context, I was already at this point being bullied at school. Like this was right before I ended up leaving. So I was already having not a great time at school, okay? Like this was already like, it was already happening. Anyway, there was this one girl who went to my school who I was friends with. I wouldn't say we weren't friends. We just like, we weren't super close or anything. Let's just call her Hannah, right? This girl, Hannah, she was stunning. She was a dancer. She was athletic, like gorgeous girl. Anyway, this new girl comes to the school. Let's call her Lucy. Extroverted, and I love meeting new people. I love meeting new people. So whenever there was like a new student, I was always like, oh my God, like, you know, wanting to be friendly because like that's the kind of person I am. I am always like that. I love meeting new people. Like I'm very friendly. I'm very bubbly. That's just me. Anyway, so this new girl, Lucy, she starts at the school. All is well. Like I'm friends with her at the start. So it seems. So it's all good at the start. And then I think slowly she starts to like catch on that like other people don't like me because I was being bullied at this point. And it was very much a like hop on the bandwagon type of situation. One person didn't like me and their friend group then didn't like me and then, oh, but they were friends with them. So then it was like a thing, which is just great for me because everyone, yeah, I just felt like everyone hated me. New girl Lucy catches on to this. All of a sudden, I'm sat down having my recess or my lunch, whatever it was. I honestly like don't. This story is so vague in my memory, like I blocked out so much of school. This whole big group of girls comes up to me, whole group, and I'm sat there with like my friends, I'm pretty sure. And they all come up to me and they were like, why would you say that about Hannah? Like, what would you say? Why would you say that about Hannah? All this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know what they were talking about. They just come up to me and they're like accusing me of saying all these things. And I'm like, hello? Like, hello? I was just sat eating my recess. Anyway, they're all like yelling at me, having a go at me in the middle of the playground, like a whole massive group of girls. And I'm like obviously so intimidated because hello, where did you come from? And they're all accusing me. I'm pretty sure this is what they said. They'd come up to me accusing me of saying that I had called Hannah fat, who I was like friends with at this point. They'd accused me of calling Hannah fat, and they also said that word for word, I remember this. They said that I had said that she was so fat that if she sat on a guy's lap, that his legs would break. Who? I would not in a million years even think that sentence up. That is not anything that is not in my vocabulary, okay? I would never say that about anyone. And I knew that, and I think my friends at the time knew that as well, and they were all like, hello, that is not something you should say. Because it wasn't. I would never, ever, ever speak about a woman that way. No chance. No chance. That is disgusting language. And I need to tell you the rest of the story. But basically, this was beyond untrue. Like, I would never, ever say that. It was never said. Those words never came out of my mouth. Anyway, later on at some point, I ended up in the deputy's office with the deputy and my friend Hannah. Of which I basically said to her, like, look, I'm so sorry that this whole situation has happened, but I literally never said that about you. I would never say that about you. Like, you're beautiful. Those words would never come out of my mouth. To which I pretty much remember her just being really chill about it. She was like, it's okay, like, it's fine. Like, we're civil. It was civil. It was fine. She didn't seem to really think it was true or have a problem with it, which is good because I never said it. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks from then, I think it was like right before I ended up leaving the school, because this was at the end of like the school year, like I was about to move schools. This other girl comes up to me who was sort of a part of the group who was like bullying me. Like she, I think, was friends with the it was like, she didn't like particularly like me because she was on the bandwagon, I'm pretty sure. She came up to me with like, I think 2 other girls and apologized to me. And I was like, I was really confused at first because I was like, hello, why are you talking to me? Like, am I gonna, like, is something gonna happen? Like, I was scared because obviously I was getting bullied. Like, of course I wasn't, you know. And these girls came up to me and apologized to me, and they were like, we're so sorry for believing that you said that. Lucy, the new girl, had made it up because she wanted to be popular. She made up that entire story to fit in with that other group of girls so she could be like in with them because they all didn't like me and she wanted to be in with them. So she made up that whole situation about me, and these girls actually came up to me and apologized to me and said, I'm so sorry for believing that, like, she made it all up. And I didn't know that at that point. I was like, oh my god, like, are you serious? She made it up? Because I knew I didn't say that, but I was like, I didn't know where the lie came from. Yeah, so this Lucy girl made up the whole thing to be in with the crowd and put me through, like, all that. I was like, girl, I don't even know you. Like, I was friends with you. I was trying to be nice to you. Like, what? Yeah. I don't know who makes up that about stuff. That's anyway. Year 9 drama, am I right? Yeah, that's basically one of the stupidest things I think I've ever experienced. So yeah, bullying is never okay. Hopping on a bandwagon because everyone else doesn't like someone is not okay. Please make your own decisions on who you want to be friends with. Don't just like follow along what your friends want to do. If you think someone's a nice person, they probably are a nice person. Just because your friends are hating on someone doesn't mean that you have to too. Because I was the one on the other end of that and it sucked. Please, just be nice. Just be nice to everyone. It is free to be nice. And if you or anyone you know is struggling, there's always Kids Helpline. Your school has resources. You can go talk to your school counselor, to a teacher that you trust. You are important, you are loved, and nobody deserves to be bullied. Love you all. Bye.